Okay, so I wanted to give a breakdown of these books. I have read all of these multiple times. Only one of them has a sequel. So the first one is called Zorgamazoo by Robert Paul Weston. And I will read you the back of the book, and the back of the book sounds like what is just like how the book is written. So it's very rhymey, very sing-songy, and it's really fun. So it says, "How do you do? I'm Katrina Cottrell, a girl full of courage and daring as well. You may not believe me, but under the ground there are strange-looking creatures who ramble around. Zorgals, they're called, and they've all disappeared. They were kidnapped, perhaps, or so it is feared. So we must go and find them and rescue them too. But first, do you know how to get a Zorgamazoo?" So the whole book is written like that, in that rhymey fashion, sort of in like bridges. So there's like these short little paragraphs. And then sometimes it gets like really fun with the fun fonts. So I really like this book. It's a great read aloud, just because it has like that Dr. Seuss feel to it. So the next book is a huge favorite of every kid I've ever taught. It's called The Creature Department. I hear they're thinking about turning this into like a movie or a TV show. In the back of this book, they also recommend Zorgamazoo. I have not read the others. I imagine they're good too. So this is about a boy and a girl who live in a town, and the boy's uncle works in the creature department. He works for a company that makes gadgets, but within this company is a secret department called the Creature Department, and it's run by all of these creatures, and they all have sort of different skills. The pictures are fantastic at the beginning of every chapter. So like here's the picture for chapter 2, in which the professor reveals where the magic happens. And so I'll hold this up. I hope you can see it. All the pictures are, maybe I'll show you a different one. So there are also just like pictures in the chapters, like that's a doorknob. Here we go. Chapter 3. There's a character called Jean Remy who's a bat, and he's French, and so I've always read it with a French accent, which is really fun. But you can see like all of these creatures, and that's at the beginning of every chapter. So I'll read you a little bit of the first page. So there's Elliot and Leslie. And Leslie's sort of, uninterested in her town. Her mom moves around a lot. She doesn't really have any friends. And Elliot doesn't either, because he wears the same vest all the time. And so they kind of become friends through that. So it says, "Elliot von Doppler, you come down here right now, or I swear I'll boil you in a soup and serve you to your father." Elliot pulled the covers over his head. This soup ultimatum was the third such threat in the last 5 minutes. His mother had also promised to flash fry one of his kidneys and pickle his fingers in vinegar. Of course, it is important to stress that Elliot von Doppler's parents had never eaten anyone, nor did they intend to. They weren't cannibals. They were food critics. So it's really fun. It has a lot of action. Highly recommend. There is a sequel. I forget what the sequel is called. Oh, Gobbled by Gorks. That's a good one too. The last book I'm going to recommend to you is really fun. It has a lot of sort of hidden meanings, and it's about a girl who dreams of being a big writer. But she's kind of stuck and out of ideas, and her mother has a schedule for her every minute of every day. Like they even schedule in like her fun time, and it's like 15 minutes a day, or her play time. And I think her age in the book is maybe like second or third. I'm not really sure, but so this book is called The Lost Track of Time. and it's all about sort of losing track of time and finding your imagination and creativity. So I'll read you a little bit of what it says. It says, Penelope is running out of time. She dreams of being a big writer, but how can she pursue her passion when her mother schedules every minute of her life? And how will she ever prove that writing is worthwhile if her mother keeps telling her to get busy and be more productive? Then one day, Penelope discovers a hole in her schedule. An entire day completely unplanned, and she mysteriously falls into it. And she goes through this journey called the Realm of Possibility, and she meets all these really fun people. There's an evil guy named Kronos, and he's in charge of time. And then there's a daring army of clockworkers. And so on the back it says, like, it has all these time phrases: spare time, high time, short time, kill time. And this one also has fun pictures. So here's Penelope. I don't want to give away a spoiler. Let's see. Here's Penelope laying in her bed at the very beginning. So it has pictures like that, sort of those like purpley ones. I love all three of these books. I think they're fantastic. I also wanted to give you a preview of read alouds that are coming up. So I don't really know if I'm going to do read alouds next week. I don't want to say that I am, but in the future we have, May 4th is now the date. They haven't announced, the district hasn't announced that, but it is coming because we can't be going to school if we're in lockdown until May 4th. So we have lots of time for books like Looking After Your First Monster. Really funny, kind of long, but really funny. So we'll do that one. Arthur Writes a Story. And I'm wondering if there's a Arthur TV episode that matches this one. This one's really funny and sort of strange. The Gingerbread Girl Goes Animal Crackers. So it's the same story of the gingerbread girl, but she makes animal crackers, but the title makes it sound like she's going crazy, like the gingerbread girl goes animal crackers. It's really funny. Looking forward to reading it. Okay, thanks for checking in on my book recommendation video. I clearly just love reading and love sharing books of all kinds. As some of you know, reading level and reading interest are two different things. You can have a first grade reading level, but a child whose interest is at a fourth grade level, or you can have a student who is at a fifth grade reading level, but their interest is more first or second grade. And so matching those can be done in many ways. Oh, the sun just came out. By if their interest level is something like this, but maybe they can't quite read it all on their own, that's a great shared read. So, have a great weekend. I will see you at 2 o'clock for our class meeting, show and tell. Can't wait. And I will see you after spring break. Keep growing and learning.